It feels like only a week ago now that we were talking about some news from Mojang about the Warden. But today we have some very interesting information from none other than King B Dogs that actually gives us quite a lot of information about the Warden. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, everyone, be sure you drop it a like and subscribe if you are new around here. I just want to give you all a quick thank you for 10,000 subscribers, but without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. So over on Twitter, King B Dogs actually came out quite a few hours ago now and gave us some pretty interesting information about the Warden. Now, some quick backstory: if you do not know what the Warden is, if you're not into all the Minecraft lives and all the images and screenshots and stuff like that, let me give you a quick rundown. Now, the Warden is a mob that is set to release in the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update, and we actually got a little look at it at Minecraft Live, but ever since then we've saw and heard really nothing at all. Now, this mob is basically gonna be like a new mini boss, is what I want to describe it as, which can actually be found in the new biome, the Deep Dark, which can only be found below -Y0. Now, this biome is very dark, very creepy, and very difficult to get to, but as a result of this, the biome will contain some abandoned mining outposts, which I've decided to call them, which will house some very valuable loot. But yeah, as I said, since Minecraft Live we've saw nothing about it, we've heard nothing about it, but 14 hours ago, as of when I'm recording this video, King B Dogs came out and says, for those worried that the Warden won't be as menacing as the version at Minecraft Live because of my recent comments, don't worry. In recent prototypes, it's more menacing, intelligent, horrific than before. That's why I've been pondering if I've gone too far or not. So this is a really cool tweet from King B Dogs, and there's actually a lot more information in there than you may first realise. Let's start off with one of the most interesting statements in there, prototypes, where it says in recent prototypes. Now, if you do not know, a prototype is basically a early version of production where it's not ready to be released, but it has been tested behind the scenes and made behind the scenes. So now we have confirmation that the Warden is in the prototype phase. We already kind of knew that and could have assumed that, but we did not know how far into the prototype phase the Warden was, but as King B Dog says, in recent prototypes. So this gives us an idea that the Warden is still in the prototype phase, which leads me to believe we might not be seeing the Warden for quite a little while. Now, as I'm saying this and recording this, it is Wednesday, so it is snapshot day, so if we get the Warden in today's snapshot, I will be extremely shocked. But yeah, this is very interesting. Just how King B Dogs says in recent prototypes just shows that the Warden is still in the prototype phase and still being worked on. So I think we will not see this mob for a while. Now let's touch upon some of the statements King B Dogs made about it. He says he wants the Warden to be menacing, intelligent, and more horrific than ever before. Now, I definitely understand the horrific and menacing part because it's pretty creepy, it's pretty, you know, beefy, pretty scary the way it rocks around and just looks pretty menacing overall. But this one's pretty strange. Intelligent. I think if you ask me to describe the Warden in one word, I would not think of intelligent after a million tries. So this is interesting. What changes have they made to the Warden that makes it intelligent? Now, I suppose the fact it can navigate purely through hearing is pretty smart, but maybe Mojang have added some changes to the Warden that make it actually seem intelligent. Does the Warden have methods of hunting the player down, which we have not seen before from a mob, where it's kind of like a primal animal, kind of like a primal human, if that's what you want to describe it as, where it has knowledge and it has the brain power to actually use tools and use the environment around it to its advantage. That could definitely be very interesting, but to be honest, I think we are looking too deep into it. And to finish it all up, everyone, King B Dog's actually finished up by saying, I think there's a balance and we're still trying to strike it. Lots of playtesting and iterating before we get it right. So this just clarifies what we talked about earlier, where King B Dogs actually says they are currently still in the playtesting phase and they're still trying to strike the balance. So this just, you know, reassures what I said earlier. The Warden will not be ready for a while, in my opinion. If you look at the evidence we've got, there's more pointing towards the Warden not being ready and being quite a while off, rather than the Warden being ready to release. All of this, you know, the Warden still being in the prototype phase and still being worked on, and there's still playtesting happening. This is all very interesting, but there's actually some very interesting questions you can ask as a result of all this. Does the statement in recent prototypes, does this mean it is coming soon or still being prepared? Because if it is in the prototype phase, it means it cannot be too far off. This happened with Lady Agnes when she was tweeting out about the Lush Caves being in the prototype phase. A few months later, we actually got it in the snapshots. So could this happen with the Warden? Maybe in a few months down the line, or weeks maybe, we will see the Warden. Who knows? Now, the statement, lots of playtesting, is it being experienced in game, and are these nearly finished prototypes? That is the question we can only beg to be answered right now. And the final most interesting thing I have managed to think about as a result of this tweet: does this mean a Warden defeating item is coming? Because that is a very long time to be playtesting the Warden and just be hit over and over again. I speculate that the reason it's taking so long to playtest is because they are experimenting whether they want the Warden to drop anything, or if they want there to be any Warden defeating items. Because we know this Warden is going to be very tough, and they've been debating for a while over if the Warden will drop anything, or if there will be any Warden specific defeating items, maybe like an anti-Warden sword, for example. That's just a very rough example, but these are very interesting questions, everyone, that we'll just have to wait and see to be answered. As of right now, I believe Mojang are doing more than they first let off, because as I said, that is a very long time to be prototyping this and just to be hit over and over again by the Warden. So yeah, that is it for this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you think they are doing more than they are first telling us with the Warden? And do you think the Warden is close to being released or very far away? Let me know, of course, and drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And subscribe if you are new around here. Only about 8% of you that watch these videos are subscribed. But yeah, just before I go, everyone, I want to thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers. It feels like only yesterday I was celebrating 9,000, so I just want to give you all a big thank you. It's a dream come true to be able to make these videos for you all, talking about my favourite game, Minecraft. Let's get to 25,000 subscribers. That is our next big goal, everyone. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.